unless you don't have a clear picture of that life, you will never reach there. And that's what was happening for first 5 years. I didn't have a clear picture. There is a big difference between employee mindset and entrepreneur mindset. Entrepreneur mindset has to be with prosperity and abundance. Because my mindset was only that work on the job, get good job, good pay, good promotion, and then retire.
They say money doesn't grow on trees, or does it? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Be Your Own Boss. Our guest this week is the author of Grow Your Money Tree, Mr. Dipak Bhadra. And Dipak is an entrepreneur. He's a real estate investor, and he has been working in the engineering field for about 30 years before starting his entrepreneurial journey. Let's hear from Dipak about his story, his journey. Dipak, thank you so much for taking out time and joining us here on the Be Your Own Boss podcast.
Thank you. Thanks, Sachin, for having me here on your podcast, your show, Be Your Own Boss.
So, Dipak, let's start with your story, with right from the beginning. Let's tell us about your childhood, your parents, your siblings. Where were you born?
I'm born in very small town of Kutch district. Now, Kutch is famous from this Run of Kutch and Run festival, but that time, Kutch was one of the isolated district of India in Gujarat.
Yeah.
So, I'm born in Gujarat, studied in Gujarati medium. And my father was working for government initially, and then he was moved to Oman.
Okay.
So, he worked for 40 years in Oman. My siblings, I'm elder one, and I have two sisters, so both are younger to me, but then now both are married, having their own kids and enjoying their own lives.
Yeah. And growing up as a child, did you have aspirations to become an entrepreneur one day?
No, I never thought becoming entrepreneur. I was kind of happy kind of person, even right from childhood.
Okay.
We were not even middle class. We were like, I have seen my father working hard. The time I remember, my father was working in government. At the same time, he was studying in college. So I saw him going to college 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm talking about 1971, 72. That's the time I can recall.
Yeah.
That time there was no car or no bike, so he was going by cycle.
Wow.
And then from there he used to go for job, which was full-time job, 10 to 5, 10 to 6. And from there he was going to a lawyer's office as a part-time job.
Wow. So he did 2 jobs and
Study. And then he used to come back at home 9, 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And then also he was working for the work of lawyer, because that time there was no computers, there was no kind of gadgets what we have, so it was all manual. So I have seen him writing those lawyer script and everything. So that's what. So my understanding since then was that hard work is the only way to live a better life.
True. And what about schooling then? Once you finished your schooling, what kind of studies did you go into after that?
So schooling, yes, I did. I studied in Gujarati medium, which was up to 12th standard. I was good at study. But at the same time, I was a little bit notorious also, so doing a lot of things. So my parents, they put me in college hostel from the 5th grade.
Oh, really? Okay.
So 3 years I was in boarding school, little away from my hometown, 50 kilometers away. And in vacations, I used to go home.
Yeah.
So 3 years from 5th, 6th and 7th grade, I had a different kind of experience, different life.
Did you like it?
When I look back, yes, it was a fun. It was, and I have enjoyed that also.
Yeah.
But yes, I always wanted to come back home. So after completing 3 years in boarding school, I came back home. And since then, up to 12th standard, I was studying in the same town in Gujarati medium. I opted for science. So after completing 12th, I went to engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So you did your engineering in, there was mechanical engineering. Yeah?
I did electrical engineering. So I did electrical engineering. Now, why I did electrical engineering, I had no idea. But as my friends were going for engineering, I went for engineering, and I didn't got admission in degree because I didn't had good percentage in 12th standard. So I had no other choice but to go for diploma.
Diploma.
So I did diploma.
Okay.
Electrical engineering. I was good at again the study, so it went well. Again, it was a life which I have enjoyed. Then immediately I got job, campus placement, which was a kind of apprentice. Like that time, we called as apprentice in the power station.
Like internship, what we call now.
Kind of internship with. I remember my very first salary was 1,500 rupees.
Okay.
So I started my career with 1,500
stipend,
rupees.
right? Like
Stipend, yeah. So it's called stipend. 1 year in the power station.
Yeah.
Because I did electrical, so I got first opportunity in power station.
Okay.
But parallelly, what I did, now somehow from where it came, maybe my father was working in Oman and I was vacation, I was coming to Oman, I have seen air conditioning. I've seen it was very hot in Oman those days, even now also.
Yeah.
And that time my mind started working that air conditioning in this part of the world is always going to be required. And that made me to join air conditioning course. It was post-diploma course in government college in Ahmedabad. So I got job in Ahmedabad. So evening again I was going to college.
Wow.
So after finishing my job, I did 2 years of post-diploma in air conditioning.
Right.
And that helped me to get a job in one of the biggest company in India, Voltas.
Voltas.
Yeah, so they were the, you can say, founding company for air conditioning in India.
Absolutely.
And I'm fortunate. So my foundation of air conditioning started with that environment, which is Tata Group of company.
Yeah, Voltas is a Tata Group of companies.
Yeah, Voltas. And it was really.
And Tata is like it's a wonderful.
So my foundation of professional career was built on those strong values.
Yeah. And how long did you stay with Voltas after that?
So I was there for 3 years. I worked in Voltas for 3 years. I learned about air conditioning. That was my school for air conditioning.
Okay.
I studied something, but then it was implementation.
The practical knowledge came from Voltas.
So practical knowledge, including company was giving me responsibility like traveling with consultants and take them to Mumbai factory, visiting places like ISRO and Plasma Research Institute. And it was a totally new level of exposure. In many industries I was going for meetings. So it was a good start, you can say.
So when you were working with Voltas and visiting all these places, at that time did you have the aspirations that you want to start your own business, or did that strike you?
Maybe one corner of my mind, but not serious thoughts, not burning desire. There was like when I see people, they were their own boss sometimes, but if I go back, it was not that kind of, you can say, burning desire, because I was in an environment where I have seen my father working. So that's what my mindset was.
It was automatically set that this is life.
That's what my mind says, that okay, I have to work, get good grade, get good job, get promotion, change the company, increase salary, and that's how that my mindset was there for growing in professional life.
And how did Dubai happen then? So you were working for Voltas here, and then
so from Voltas I have shifted to Oman because my father was in Oman, and I was keep on coming, and I've seen good lifestyle in Oman. Air conditioning was requirement.
Air conditioning is required in this region.
So I got a good break to start with Oman's biggest company. So in India, I was India's biggest company in air conditioning, Voltas. In Oman, I got break in Bhawan Engineering, which was Oman's largest company in air conditioning.
Okay.
And then 7 years I worked in Oman in air conditioning.
Wow. And then how did you move to?
Then I had desire to, because I was from Oman, I was coming to Dubai for visits. I was coming for some exams also. So as I didn't do degree, my mind was always thinking that as I am not having degree in engineering, I am not good enough. I need degree. That was my that time mindset. And for that I was coming from Muscat to Abu Dhabi for some exams to get equivalent degree in engineering. And then
so by this time you were already working for what 10 plus years, right?
Close to 10 years. 3 plus 7, 10 years. But then see, that's what our mind
had that desire.
So our mind, learning is my always passion. I love learning. That time I didn't thought from that point of view. That time my intention was to get degree. Because if I get degree, I get good, you can say, facilities. So the company in Oman, after Bhawan I was working, they had very clear, you can say, segregation. If you are a diploma, you will get 1-bedroom apartment. If you are a degree holder, you get 3-bedroom apartment. If you are diploma, you get a Daewoo car. If you are a degree engineer, you get Land Rover. So now that was driving me that, okay, just because of this difference of
It's
this
the
paper.
class that you have to get to the other
So
class.
so that's what I thought. Okay, I want to upgrade myself.
Yeah, yeah. And did that happen then once you finished your?
It didn't happen. I didn't completed it because it was just wish only.
Yeah.
It was not kind of burning desire. So I was driven by circumstances again, family responsibilities. So at that time, I already have my son who was very young, and then spending time with family. So priorities was
The
different.
priorities changed.
Priorities have changed.
Yeah, yeah. And then what was your next step after that?
So then because I was coming to Dubai, I have seen Dubai, there are better opportunities in air conditioning, maybe 2-3 times more salary than Oman, better prospects.
Yeah.
So then I started exploring opportunities in Dubai. And one of my friend, he says, okay, come to my home, stay here and explore. Meet companies, go for interviews. I did that.
Yeah.
I got couple of offers. I selected one. I was here for 8 days, and that time there was no mobile, there was no car. So I remember that time. It was peak summer.
Yeah.
And then when the offer came, I was getting 3 times more salary than Oman. I accepted that offer. Interview which I've gone through that company. So I worked with Al Shirawi Group. So since then, I worked for 20 years in that company.
20 years.
Yeah, Al Shirawi in Dubai. I joined as an engineer.
Yeah.
I retired or resigned as an executive director from that company. So there was good growth.
Yeah.
Because something differently happened. I started investing in me.
Yeah.
Learning about industry first, and then learning more about me and success.
And talk us through that process, like, 20 years when you moved from, when you moved up from an engineer to an executive director. So, how was that growth like, and what happened? You said you invested in yourself. Tell us more about that.
So initially I joined as an engineer, but good thing about me, like, say, sometimes when opportunity knocks your door, and if you're not ready, thinking that no, I don't have these skills, I don't have that, I don't have those, I would have missed those opportunities. So many times opportunity came to me. It was offered to other people also working in the same team. Now those people took little longer time. I said yes. So I was offered an opportunity. I was in projects in air conditioning. And projects is little bit fancy. Like you will say that I'm project engineer or I'm project manager. I was offered in the same company. They were planning to start some manufacturing setup. And ducting, like ducts are required in air conditioning system. I was offered that, okay, would you like to make a switch? From where this idea came, I said yes. Even I didn't know much about ducting. I didn't know much about selling of ducts. I said yes. And that has opened up many opportunities. After a few years, as I was growing in selling, again I was offered another opportunities. Would you like to take control of entire division, including manufacturing, including business development? I had no skills that time, but I said yes, and then I learned those skills.
Wow.
And it is always, I believe that if I would have thought how, and if I would have thought that I'm not ready with this, those opportunities was like, it was knocking, but then.
You said yes.
I said yes, without worrying about how I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I heard this somewhere that if you're confused, say yes, because the opportunity, if you say no, the opportunity is gone.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I totally believe into that.
Yeah. And so once now you've been working in this company for 20 years, you grew. What was your exit, or like at that point, what made you decide that you want to resign, or did you retire or resign from the company? What was your?
I resigned, but I had planned. So I resigned in 2019.
Okay.
So 14 July 2019 was my last working day. That was my farewell day.
Yeah.
Entire unit, all the workers, CEO of the company, I got a good farewell.
Yeah.
It is going to be exactly 4 years. Today is 11th July.
Yeah.
It was 14th July. So 4 years.
Yeah.
But this shift happened when I was attending one of the training. In 2011, I was attending one training of NLP. Now, again, if I go back, why I was in that training room is because of my children. So
That's
first,
so
my
good.
son, I enrolled him. Like there was a summer camp happening,
Right.
and then company who was helping children, they invited parents and kids. That there is something inside us, and it just needs to be explored.
Hmm.
And they were giving demonstration of children, young children, that they can have good memory, they can have better attitude. So we have enrolled my son,
Hmm.
and he was going for that. In 7 days we have seen changes, and then they have offered course for parents.
Okay.
Now this is what, like, all the coaching companies, they do this
Right.
way. So then me and my wife, we went for that 4 days, 2 weekends actually. It was 2 weekends NLP. There was a fire walk, and then we reached to a level that it was asked that what you want to change in your life.
Hmm.
So I decided to change two things. One thing, okay, I was earning, I don't say very high salary that time, but reasonably good salary. But what I was doing, I was giving my money to other people to handle, like those financial planners, and then they always come up with excuses that it is subject to market risk and all those. So my money was not growing.
Hmm.
And in that event, I have decided I want to take control of two things. One is I will take control of money, for which I need to learn.
Hmm.
And then second thing, I always thought that I'm introvert, I'm not good networker, I can't speak in front of 10 people. And in that event, I've decided that I want to work on public speaking skills. So in that,
Yeah.
the shift happened. I joined Toastmaster
Okay.
to improve my public speaking skills. And I went to Robert Kiyosaki to learn money skills.
You went to the best.
I went to the
Robert
best, like internet. I just searched who is. That also happens.
Yeah.
So one of my friend in India, he handed over me audio book of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now before that, I had no idea who Robert Kiyosaki is. So it is this book.
Yeah.
He gave me audio book, and initially I didn't understood what this guy is talking about. He's having two dads, rich dad, poor dad. But then while walking,
Yeah.
I was listening continuously. And that made me to think that this guy is talking something. He's talking about financial freedom. I never heard about financial freedom before that, because my mindset was only that work on the job, get good job, good pay, good promotion,
Make more
save
money.
it,
Yeah.
invest it, and then retire. That's what my mindset was. But when I learned from audiobook, I thought, okay, why not to go to this guy? So I just, for curiosity, I sent an email that I want to know how your team can help me. And then next day I got call from US that, okay, thank you for inquiring, but we want to qualify you, whether you are fit for this or no. And they've sent me form, questions. I have filled questions. And then this is, okay, we qualify you. If you want to join our program, we can help you. It was 18 months program. That time there was no online, the Zoom or even Skype was not there.
Yeah.
So my arrangement was there every week. It was Thursday, 9 p.m. Dubai time. I get call from my coach.
Okay.
So first call was with Robert Kiyosaki, and then remaining all the calls every week, it was from the coach. And that was my
So first call was directly with Robert
Yes,
Kiyosaki.
yeah.
Wow.
And then all the other calls for all the months was from coach, dedicated coach, same coach. And that was the biggest investment I have made in me first time.
Yeah.
It was $7,500. I don't know how I have made.
Yeah.
Even my salary was not in that range, but it was some, you can say, intuition in me or desire in me who wanted to come out. So I went with that course. With that course, I got a game called Cash Flow Game.
Right.
And then my mind started shifting. So this book, if I show this, so this is personally autographed by Robert Kiyosaki.
Wow.
And I have many books which he has signed for me. And then, yes, so I started learning about money, as I told my two decisions, learning about money and learning about public speaking.
Public speaking.
And both were going on.
Yeah.
But for first 5 years, there was no growth. 2011 to 2016, after learning all those, carrying information in my mind.
Yeah.
And so I learned from Robert Kiyosaki for 18 months about real estate. So I've invested in 2 properties. So one property I was getting positive cash flow, one was coming negative cash flow. So after 5 years, my passive income or journey to financial freedom was zero. Now, after investing all this, learning all this, and then result was zero, which was giving me frustration. But still, I was in comfort zone because salary was coming.
Yeah.
It was not, you can say, sense of urgency. So salary was coming. I was growing in company from position to position. So from project engineer to sales engineer to divisional manager to general manager to executive director, all those things were
So
happening.
growth was happening there, but then on the personal finance side,
Yeah.
things were not growing.
So the dream which I was, seed I have planted that time,
Yeah.
financial freedom, that was not growing.
Right.
And then what happened? 2015, my father was working in Oman for 40 years. And then he, because of some health issues, he was good. He was handling team of 400 people. He was general manager there. But then at the age of 71, he was asked to retire. And I've seen pain on his face. And then that time my mind says that I want something, but I'm not committed. I was just taking casually. It was just like a dream, wish or interest or hope. And nothing was changing. That's what, like first 5 years, nothing was changing.
Yeah.
Now, should I wait for 60, my age of 60, and then my company tells me that tomorrow is your last day, we have arranged farewell party for you, or should I do something now? And that was, you can say, kind of paradigm shift or shock for me, that the way I'm living, the way I'm in comfort, I'm taking life casually, even though I was growing, but I was not growing in financial freedom. And when it says when student is ready, teacher will show up.
Yeah.
And then somebody connected me with Bob Proctor.
Bob Proctor.
Yeah, so Bob Proctor, I knew a little bit about Bob Proctor from the Secret movie. So Secret is known for law of attraction.
Yeah.
And then somebody shared me link of Bob Proctor's online event, which was based on Think and Grow Rich book. So it was 4 days event. It was happening in US LA time 9 a.m. So it was 12 hours difference. So Dubai time 9 p.m. So I paid $300 and I attended. So I started watching. I thought that, okay, I will watch for maybe 2 hours and then remaining I will watch recording. But it was so interesting and something was connecting, something was resonating. I was watching 3 days entire night, throughout the night. And then I thought, okay, this guy is having answer, which I'm trying to find out since 5 years, carrying all the knowledge by Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but results were not changing. And he has made such in a simple way. He says financial freedom is simple, we make it complicated. Success is simple, we make it complicated. And then in that event, I was offered an opportunity to attend live training in Canada, Toronto, where Bob was based. And I submitted my interest. So I was given this opportunity. Again, they were qualified. They says, okay, we want to qualify whether, because that event, people were coming from all over the world.
Okay.
So in that event, when I went there were Hollywood directors, Olympic gold medal winners, and all those kind of profile people. So I was qualified for that, and they says, okay, you have to fee for course is $18,000.
$18,000.
Yeah, $18,000. Now this was something new for me.
Yeah.
But my mind immediately, I didn't even ask time. I said, yes, I'm in.
Okay.
How I can come to Canada? I didn't have Canada visa. So this is okay, we'll send you paper. I transferred money immediately, and I was there in Canada looking for answer for financial freedom.
Right.
And day one, now Bob Proctor, if audience is not aware, so this is Bob Proctor's. So I'm directly mentored by Bob Proctor 1-to-1. I was traveling to Canada from that event.
Yeah.
So in that event, very first day, Bob asked me that why you are here. I was all the way from Dubai. Most of the people were from US, Canada, Europe. Very few people were from so far. So he says, you are here, what you are looking for, what you expect from this event. So my answer was, I'm looking for financial freedom. Because that time, my dream for financial freedom was ignited. I want, at any cost, I want that.
So it had turned it into a burning desire
It
from
turned
an
into burning
initial
desire, yes.
wish and dream.
Yes.
to
So
this-
initially it was a wish or hope
Yeah.
or interest.
Yeah.
But the moment it turned as a burning desire,
Yeah.
universe have started connecting dots.
Yeah. And you took action. I mean, $18,000.
Yeah.
Like, if I were there, I would have probably backed out and said, oh no, 18,000, that's a lot of money. But you took action, you took that step and you went
Yeah,
there.
so that has changed,
Yeah.
but that was not enough. Now Bob says, okay, you are here, you want financial freedom, but do you have a picture of your life when you are financially free? Now, being me as an engineer, it is always logical thinking. If this happens, this will happen. If my salary goes this much, if my passive income goes this much, but I never thought beyond that.
Right.
Now there is a life beyond that, which we can create with imagination. Now, being engineer, it was always logical, always realistic, always practical, believing in drawings, believing in
Mathematics.
formulas and mathematics
Yeah.
and numbers.
Right.
And here it was totally different.
Yeah.
So Bob says, unless you don't have a clear picture of that life, you will never reach there. And that's what was happening for first 5 years.
Right.
Because I didn't have a clear picture of that life. So Bob says, now this is 6 days event. Today is day 1. Don't accept whatever I say, but don't reject. Consider it. And then all the way I came from Dubai to Canada, invested this amount. So I had no choice but to give attention and consider it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then every day my mind was coming up with some answers. So question was, when I am financially free, what I would be doing. So first day answer came that because I did air conditioning only. Till that time it was 26, 27 years in air conditioning.
Right.
So my mind says that, okay, as I didn't do anything, so when I'm financially free, I will have a company of air conditioning in Dubai, because Dubai will always require air conditioning.
Yeah.
There will be enough clients and everything. So my mind has built those pictures.
Right.
And day 2, again, he was taking through that intense training of going deep inside. He says answers are inside. So day 2 answer came that contractors I have seen struggling for money, struggling for orders, struggling for payment, certification, labors, team. Then my mind says, from one job, I will be buying another big job. It will not be a good choice. Even though I will be entrepreneur, but I will not be having those freedom of choice.
Yeah.
So day 2 answer came as I will be a consultant. So consultants, you can manage with small team. You don't need big setup. You will not be on mercy of contractors to get money. So day 2, this was the answer. Day 3 answer changed. That consultants, when there is a downturn, when market is going down, real estate, consultants are the first people to suffer.
Yeah.
Because all the designing work will be stopped, new conceptualization will be stopped. And then my mind says, again, it will be the same issue. So I will become an expert. So expert in fire safety and acoustics. That's what I did for a few years. I learned from our principals in UK. And my mind came with this answer, that be an expert. So everybody will need you.
Right.
So day 3, this was but day 4, totally new answer came. From where it came, no idea. But my mind says, I love learning, because to learn only, I came from Dubai to Canada.
Yeah.
Now, what if I continue this journey as a professional and with Bob Proctor and do with him what he is doing? Now, I don't know from where it came.
Yeah.
But then immediately I was offered an opportunity on day 4 that, okay, we have consultants division, be part of our consultancy division, become consultant with Bob Proctor, invest $32,000, take decision. So when you are in that environment, you don't think. So I didn't thought. I straight away I allowed to swipe my credit card of $32,000.
Okay.
And I got access also online immediately on day 4 evening. Day 4 night, I didn't have sleep. My mind says, you are engineer. You never coached anybody.
Yeah.
You don't know what mind is. It is just 3 or 4 days you are learning this. You are introvert. You are not good in English. You don't have business skills. All those things started.
You started having all the negative thoughts.
All my mind started coming up
Yeah.
with, and then Next day morning, I was sitting with Bob Proctor because Bob knew that this is going to happen. So I was sitting with him next day morning, appointment of half an hour. And I says, I think I made a mistake. It was, this is not for me. I'm engineer. I would prefer to stay and focus there. But then he says, after doing 4 days, this intense activity, universe came up with this answer. Universe wants you to do this. This was your purpose of life you found. Very few people in the planet, they found their purpose. You found your purpose. Now, if you want to withdraw because you don't know how to achieve it, I don't mind. I will give you money back. But you will regret your entire life. But if you are going with me, I will make sure that you become who is required to do this.
Right.
And he says, you don't need to know how. You only need to know what. And that day, a day before, I found what.
Yeah.
Without worrying about how. But now I'm doing it. 7 years it is.
Now you've been a coach for 7 years.
I became author also, which I never thought. It was not in my dream that I can write. But something like, see, we have all the talents and ability inside us.
And that's a big leap also, right? Being an author. I mean, you had your own insecurities about coming from, you thought that, you said you were not confident because you thought you were not good in English. But here you are, public speaking, you're giving interviews, you've written a book. That transition has been because you changed your beliefs.
It is right word, change in my beliefs. It was my belief about me. I can do this, I can't do this. And that was holding me back.
And now you're helping others change their beliefs. Talk us through that process of like how you transition into when you came back to Dubai after this training. How did you set up your coaching?
So I became consultant, but for first 7 months I didn't do anything. Even after investing this kind of money, $32,000, having franchisee with Bob Proctor as a consultant, and then because see in Dubai, like I was on job, and we have like those mindset or guidelines that when you are working for a company, you should not do anything else. So that fear back of my mind was holding me back, and I didn't took any action. So next again I went to September for my consultants training, and Bob says, "Why you are coming here? You didn't do anything. You are not helped anybody because if I am having clients, Bob will come to know. So I have to give program license and then I have to coach. Now my confidence was not that great that I can coach. Another thing is, what if my company comes to know? What if my team will come to know? What if my clients see me doing something? And then the message will be spread and I will lose my credibility and all kind of nuisance happening in my mind. But then when I went to Bob, he says, if you want to do, I will help you. But if you don't want to do and if you want to come up with these excuses, he was very blunt. He says, I will help you, but you have to do what I am telling you to do. So I surrendered. Like, see, after investing this much, I have surrendered. He says, okay, go to your boss and ask his permission that you want to do this part-time. Now, this was kind of suicidal attempt. Because if this is not working, you will be in the blacklist. You will be on the radar. But then he knew, like, see, so that's why mentors are very important in life. They will see something in you which you can't see. So I went to my CEO. I was reporting to owner of the company. And within 10-15 seconds, he says, do it.
Wow.
So something which I was holding myself back, universe was ready, conspired everything, but it was me who was not taking action. And then he says, do it, but help your team also. Because I was team leader, I was executive director at that time. He says, help your team with this material because I was investing in me. Company definitely was getting benefited because when I was improving, my results were improving. But he says, teach your team also. And that gave me an open ground to practice. So Bob Proctor gave me advice that do this for part-time for 2 years. Stretch yourself. He says, don't mix your work with this. Do it in part-time, do it in your weekends. Stretch yourself. You have to stretch. I did that. And then time came, he pushed me. He says, now it is time to resign. He says, enough is enough. You cannot have security and freedom both at the same time. You are not living your security, but you want freedom. It's never going to come. Now you had practiced enough. It is 3 years. Commit which date you are going to resign. So he took my commitment. So it was January 2019. I went to Los Angeles for training. So since then I was going for training. Every 3-4 months I was traveling to Canada or US. So it is, I paid the price. It is not that.
Yeah, you've invested so much in this. I mean, also your travel, your courses.
So I was using for those 4 or 5 years my leave, annual leave for this traveling.
For these travels.
But it was worth. If somebody says, was it easy? No. Was it worth? 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Because I became a different person with all those what I did.
Yeah.
And then he pushed me. He says, now enough is enough. Give a date. So I committed my date that, okay, I will submit my resignation on 1st April 2019. And 30th June will be my last date on the same year, 3 months, because I had 3 months notice period. But he says, okay, good enough. But now every day you have to write and solidify this decision. You have to reinforce this decision every day. So I was writing a statement that I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a full-time. So I submitted my resignation as on 1st April 2019 and I'm full-time thinking into result consultant from 1st July 2019 onwards. So he was helping me to build those pictures. He was helping me to reinforce that decision every day.
Yeah.
He says, otherwise what happens? Today you have taken decision, but after few weeks, that decision will lose its energy. Yeah. So you have to make that decision every day.
It will fade away otherwise, right?
Otherwise it fade away. But I was making that decision every day.
Yeah.
So when 1st April came, I was calm and relaxed. Even though I was giving up big salary, I was getting close to 169,000 dirham per month in my job. It was not that easy.
Yeah, huge salary with such a long career.
Yeah, and then I have not done that coaching. It was not a full-time. But then if I want freedom, I have to give up security. Yeah. But then what he helped me, so that time learning from Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
So I was building my financial freedom.
Right.
So what was happening with new level of awareness learned from Bob and helping my team was becoming better. So my team was becoming better. Company was getting benefited. Every year there was a growth of 30-40%. Company was rewarding me and my team. Yeah. And that was making my financial freedom journey very shorter. My compensation every year it was increasing by 30-40%. And that was making me to invest in real estate assets, building my passive income portfolio. And then when day came, I was fine to live.
So by this time, because you were also investing in real estate and you started your passive income, so it kind of gave you that confidence that yes, you can continue to.
My mentor says that don't make foolish decisions. Don't just leave your job because of emotional. You have to plan. Make sure that your family is not suffered. Yeah. So even though I left my job 4 years back, my family is enjoying better life. Yeah. I moved from 2-bedroom to 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom. And we are living better life than we were living before.
Brilliant. Deepak, when you look back at this journey of yours, when, starting from the schoolboy from Kutch to the businessman that you've become, the coach that you've become, right? Who would you like to give credit to for your success?
Yeah, many people, starting with my parents, whom I have seen values. Even though we were not financially that strong, but they never made me to feel that we have lack of money. At the same time, the relationship they were building with people. My father, who has worked in one company for 40 years, so loyalty is important. Ethics are important. Give more value. I have seen my father giving more value than what he was being compensated. So all those things were unconsciously programmed. And then at every level, different mentors, my family, if without my family, my wife's support, definitely it would not have been possible. She allowed me to travel all the way for trainings, investing. making this kind of crazy decision. Even when I have decided to leave my job, my parents were a little bit upset.
Yeah.
This is why you want to explore something new which you never did. You are very happy. You have good facility from company. Company is happy with you. Why you want to take this risk? But yeah, my wife, my kids, they have supported me. And then mentors. So I understood the importance of mentor in life. My mentorship journey started formal mentorship with Robert Kiyosaki, Bob Proctor. I have mentored Andy Harrington. So for public speaking, because I knew that if I want to be a coach and if I want to coach a group, I need to be good at public speaking.
Yeah.
So I have a mentor for public speaking who is in UK. He was regularly coming to Dubai. I've invested almost 150,000 dirham with him
For public speaking.
for public speaking.
Wow. So this is one thing I've noticed in your journey, that you've constantly invested. You've always invested in yourself, time, effort, and money.
Yes.
Right, and you've never held back from investing in yourself.
No, I'm still investing. I have a business coach now,
Yeah.
Rajiv Talreja. Because being me as an employee, my mindset was different.
Yeah.
And there is a big difference between employee mindset and entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur mindset has to be with prosperity and abundance. As an employee, we think differently. When you are jumping from that world to a new world,
Yeah.
it is totally like when I jumped from there, even though I wanted to be a coach, I didn't have business skills, I didn't have coaching skills, and I didn't have technology skills. Now, all these three were required. So I had another mentor who helped me on technology skills, being presentable on videos, courses,
Yeah.
social media. Now I never thought, if I look back 4 years, I never went on social media, Facebook.
Yeah.
Now I can go in few seconds and just
Yeah.
so
You do live sessions on LinkedIn.
which was not
follow you
me,
on LinkedIn. Yeah.
but it was there in me. But then it was my self-limiting beliefs were not allowing to come out. I thought I'm a shy person, I'm introvert. What other people will say when I'm going on social media? I'm not looking good. Lights are not proper. Cameras are not proper. All those things were there. But then Bob Proctor was pushing.
Yeah.
And then what happened when I left my job in July? Couple of months, I thought I will not do anything, because after working for 30 years, I wanted to enjoy freedom.
Yeah.
And then I started doing trainings in person. And then February, COVID started. So everything in person stopped. So you don't know what kind of challenges, what kind of obstacles, what kind of uncertainty are there on your way.
Yeah.
And my entire model, which I have prepared, was collapsed. There was no in-person meetings. I was meeting people on coffee, and then I was helping them with program, which is stopped.
Yeah.
But that time, Bob has made a model for consultants, and he was helping how we can improve online presence. So it was all came.
You started online.
So when you are taking one action, universe will make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your advice for people who are at their job right now and want to get started in their own, entrepreneurial journey? They want to start their own business.
Yeah.
What's your advice for them?
So they have to start seeing those pictures. Everything starts with pictures. Only dream, hope, or wish will not help.
Yeah.
Unless it is turned into burning desire.
You have a model here. I want you to show that model.
So it is all about alignment. Like, see, so this is what Bob Proctor's model, which I learned, and I'm following since last more than 7 years. So Bob says success is about alignment, or financial freedom is about alignment, or anything you do, if everything is aligned. Like, take example of, suppose there is some machinery and there are gears. Now, if gears are not aligned, like in car, if shaft is not aligned with the wheel, it will break.
Like, that's what yoga is all about, right? Yoga is the union of alignment of
it will align. Yeah, it will help you in alignment.
Yeah.
So Bob Proctor, I learned from him that success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. But unfortunately, we focus a lot on strategy. We do feasibility report and then we make a decision. And if feasibility report, if worst case scenario is stronger, people give up that plan, that project. Now, Bob always says, think from best case scenario. What best can happen? What if this works? How your life will change? So if anybody in the job and wants to switch, start building those pictures. Start using your imagination. So this model, if I explain, so this is Bob's model. It's called stick person. And this is, imagine that this is the big circle is mind and small circle is body. Yeah. These five are senses, these antennas. So we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And this is how we receive information. So right now you are receiving information using your senses, seeing and hearing. Audience also who are watching this podcast, they are also receiving, and it goes here in conscious mind. So our conscious mind connects us with outside world. Now 95% information we receive is not helping us. There is a lot of, it is information overload, and particularly with the social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, newspaper, other people, all those information comes. And that time, if we allow that circumstances, those information take control of our thinking, we lose control. It says we become what we think about. Or there is a book which Bob was reading for 62 years, Think and Grow Rich. It doesn't say work and grow rich, think and grow rich. So thoughts are here. Thoughts are thinking is one of the mental gift. And his mentor, Earl Nightingale, says only 2% people in the world 1% people they think, 2% people they think they are thinking, and 97% people rather prefer die to than thinking. So thinking is hardest thing. Mental activity is not thinking. Most of the people are busy with mental activity. So thinking should be based on our desire, our dreams, our imagination, not based on our present result. Most of the people, they will look at their present result. That can be bank balance, that can be P&L report, that can be medical report. Students, it is the results. And based on, they will decide what kind of person they are. Now, okay, till that time, these are their results, but not necessary that future also will be the same results. You can always change it. So when you create those thoughts of your dream, your wants, and then believing it. So subconscious mind only understand language of emotions. Conscious mind is logical mind. Subconscious mind is emotional mind. And here we have belief system, we have past experiences, past mistakes, our programming. So unless we don't change here, there will be always knowing and doing gap. So with body, we take action. So people are carrying a lot of degrees, knowledge, certificates, but their results are different. They are not happy with their results. Now why? It is because this part is missed, subconscious mind. So to change subconscious mind, one has to do paradigm shift. Paradigms are nothing but our programming. So we are using this digital device. It works on programs. Correct? And regularly we update it. We get message that, okay, now new version is available, and we update. After a few years, we change the device also. But then what about ourselves? Most of the people, they think that once they finish their college education, learning is done. And they stop learning. Learning is a lifelong journey. And that's what, one of the reasons why I left my job to do this, I wanted to give full time to learning. I didn't want it. Somebody tells me that, okay, come this time to the office, go home this time, have your lunch this time.
You wanted your freedom and dedicate time to learning.
And small choices. Like say, I made a choice. Every day, 2:30 in the afternoon, I do yoga. My people says, okay, early morning. No, I made a choice. I want to do yoga at 2:30. Now my job, if I was in job, that freedom will not be there. I have decided to go for 3 retreats every year. I'm doing it. Last year I went 3 retreats I did. One I did Vipassana. I love meditation. I did Vipassana for 10 days. I went to Bangalore for Jindal for my nature cure. And then I went to Art of Living in Bangalore. I stayed there for 7 days. So these are small choice of freedom.
That's freedom, right?
Yes, freedom. Just 2 months back, I went to mountaineering. I went for mountaineering.
You did trekking, hiking.
I did. I went to 11,000 feet height for 4 days continuous trekking, carrying my backpack of 12 kg weight myself with mentor. So I had a mentor.
Talking of mentors and talking of learning here, let's kind of wrap up here. One final question as we wrap up, right? For the audience, for the people who would like to reach out to you and benefit from the services, the coaching that you're offering here, what's the best way that people can reach out to you?
So I'm available on LinkedIn, Dipak Bhadra. So I'm more active on LinkedIn because I know that professionals and business owners, they are active on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go on Facebook, but otherwise I live in Dubai. They can search on my name. My information is available.
Yeah.
I regularly do online master classes also. So one of the masterclass I'm doing on 15th July, which was my first day of freedom 4 years back.
Right. So you're celebrating that.
I'm celebrating. So my masterclass name is Security to Freedom.
Security to Freedom. And 15th of July, I think by the time this episode comes out, it might be already past now because we'll publish the episode later. But we'll include your LinkedIn profile in the show notes and in the YouTube description. And book that you've written, Grow Your Money Tree. Is this also available on Amazon for people to buy?
This is available on Amazon. It is internationally, India or UAE also.
Right.
And this book I have written in a simple language, which I understood.
Yeah.
Not that complicated. My own practical, small things which made me financially free.
Yeah. So check out the book. It's available on Amazon. Dipak, how was your experience being on the show?
Amazing. Like, see, this is what, like, I love inspiring people. Somebody inspired me. Somebody helped me to change my life. Somebody helped me to shift my paradigms. Yeah. And one of the mission of my mentor, now Bob Proctor, passed away last year in February at the age of 88. So till the age of 88, he was helping people. He has changed millions of lives. Now what he's talking through me.
Yeah.
Now it is my responsibility to touch more lives. But yes, people, condition is they should be willing and they should be prepared to pay the price.
Yeah.
Now, pay the price is not only money.
Yeah.
Making some habits, helping, bringing some disciplines. Those small things make a big difference.
Brilliant.
And building financial freedom is the best gift I feel that I'd given to myself.
Yeah.
And anybody. Like, see, now if I was not financially free, I don't think I would be doing this with this much passion.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's such a wonderful journey, wonderful story that you have. Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming on the show and sharing that with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's Dipak Bhadra, the author of Grow Your Money Tree and the founder of Abundant Living. And you've been watching and listening to Be Your Own Boss.